Okay. I like it a lot. I played it. Yeah, the combats.
I see the hole.
I didn't finish it, but I played a pretty good amount. How the leveling system works and how you're like kind of supposed to experiment with different vocations to get the most out of it. I'm like, well, I fucked up because I've been playing like 2 classes so far.
It is a troubling foe.
Yeah, because you get different stack growths depending on the vocation that you have, and after a while it pays off a lot more to be kind of like a jack of all trades. It's weird, the dynamic of it is weird because it seems like in the beginning it's better to like be pigeonholed into 1 or 2 kinds of classes, and then in the middle is when you want to go crazy, and then by the end you want to have like go back to 1 or 2 that you have specialized in. It's really weird. And besides the stack growth, you also get like certain buffs, passive buffs that carry over between classes. It's pretty nuts. But I like it.
Walking bones. You must control one at a time. I'll hold the creature still. Strengthen nerves and other plants.
Yeah. Yeah, and
every beast has its weakness. Observe closely.
yeah, some of the armors you can carry over between all sorts of classes, especially if they have like a similar, like common thing between them, like the ranger or strider classes or something like that. But the weapons are all pretty much specialized, and that's where you start to run into problems of like, as soon as you switch, you have to spend a certain amount of money on a different set of weapons.
Forsaken soul floats in the air.
Yeah, there isn't like a huge reason to switch like for your first 20 or so levels, or even 30. But at some point it pays off. It's also just fun to try them all out and see what you like. Right. And you can always swap them around too, and thankfully the points that you use for swapping and skills are separate. So you don't have to choose between yourself and your pawn.
What's that? They rampage indiscriminately.
Now, let's see.
What's this? The road splits here. Let's be doubly sure of which will see us to our destination. Skeleton! A goblin! The ranger ones are mine. Slay their leader in the mirage! I cannot breach its armor! Even in numbers, a weakling is a weakling still. You triumph. Did it?
Yeah, there are some weird difficulty spikes, and it wouldn't be so. You can lose a lot of progress by dying in this game.
Stray from the road, and you'll soon find monsters with it. The road splits here.
Yeah.
Let's be doubly sure of which will see us to our destination. capital is not without its
Yeah, once you
dangers.
get to the
Let's
capital,
remain cautious, Arisen.
and you earn a decent amount of money, you can just buy a bunch of fairy stones that'll help out.
Some quests may require difficult choices. Be ready for anything.
Oh, really?
Grand Soren, the beating heart of all Granses.
Seems this way
Yeah.
leads outside as
And if
well.
you have a
And we'll
port
be on the
crystal, you
path
can
to the
decide
Great
where
Cloud
you
Tower.
want one of those places to be. Yeah. Yeah, that's like an expansion
Now,
dungeon.
where shall we head?
Yeah, the map itself isn't that large, but it's pretty easy to sink like 100 hours into this.
Stairs serve as a useful route for our own.
Yeah, especially if you're doing a lot of the side stuff. And the expansion adds a pretty hefty amount as well.
I've learned what to do in this quest. I feel more familiar with this quest now. Many of these are like to be homes of members of the Duke's court.
It always helps to have a mage specifically. Preferably one that someone else made because they can like get them some good spells, and more importantly, the healing spell. Yeah. Yeah. I usually roll with one ranged like bow and arrow character, a mage, and then two melee fighters. Mainly for drawing more aggro. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, anything in terms of like crowd control will go a long way because there's a lot of group
Me, I've
fights.
no love of magic and its kind. Iron and steel home to the masterworks.
Yeah, that's kind of something that you
Masterworks
have
will come
to
again.
sort of trial and error with, which can be frustrating because there's no like separate files. So you can venture far to do a quest and then find out that you're not prepared for it. So you just have to
Here we
hope
can rest.
and test it out.
I've been seen. Now, let us talk of business. You'd be a fool not to have a look at my wares.
But if you
Pray,
run
call
across
it.
any of the boards in an inn or in that one place in the capital where they keep all the pawns, any quest where it's like kill a bunch of these or a bunch of these, you might as well just pick all those up because, you know, they'll just fill up over time as you're just going about and killing goblins or harpies or whatever it wants. The only ones that I think you can have as many as you want. The only ones that I don't recommend picking up are escort missions, because those you do have to do like right away.
We don't. We're in. Oi, them. Take all the time you want. Take all the time. Do come and.
Let's see.
Have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today?
High angle highlight, that's all good. That's the same. Alright.
What will it be today? Have your pick. Any you like.
Yeah, you'll come across more of them later, but the first ones that you'll see are like Cyclopses. Maybe you'll see one just as you're out, like, in the overworld. And with them, it's... the only reason to jump on them is to attack their eye, and that'll stun them. You could also, like, set fire to their legs. That'll do something. You could also use, electricity on their heads. And that'll also stun them. But there's also, like, chimeras, like you fought in the tutorial. And that's a lot more useful to get on them because you can kill, like, the goat or the snake a lot easier, where you can just jump on there and whack it individually. Like, there's sort of, like, these little nuanced strategies to fighting all sorts of the big monsters in the game. Ogres, you can climb on their back and they'll sort of start to freak out. So you can either use that to keep pressure off your pawns if he's giving them trouble. You could also make them run off a cliff. Yeah.
What will it be today?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of, like, small nuanced mechanics that they don't tell you anything about. Yeah, it's really a cryptic.
What will it be today? Have your pick. Come again.
That's all escort stuff. Might as well sleep at the end.
Have your pick. What will it be today?
I'm sure you've already found out, but being out at night can be trouble. Yeah.
How did I perform? I tried my hardest.
You'll see a lot of undead constantly rising out of the ground. And after a while, they're not too much of a problem, but they're like always popping up.
I've learned of beasts.
And packs of wolves always come out. Different things in different areas, but it's always like elevated risk out at night. Right. Alright, that's where that was from.
Well met, sir. I command, but I am but a man.
Now, what's this doing here?
There, a tower in the distance. What says the map, Wilson?
I gotta find my way back to that dude with the hair.
People live here as well.
Those without a trade or the means to earn a wage live here.
Did you explore around the capital when you got there?
Take care, you aren't soaked in water!
Oh yeah. Yeah, where the pawns hang out.
This inn can serve as the hub of our journeys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not a text, you say? A cipher, crafted to bring you to the Dragonforged. I see. If this man speaks true, and is immortal, there's a fair chance he guided his grace as well.
Oh, before you go down into that dungeon underneath the pawn place, have you done the side quest to go find that that woman from the beginning of the game, Kina? Alright, good. If you don't do it by the time you finish that quest down there in the dungeon, it goes away. And it doesn't even like tell you, it cuts you off from like a whole line of quests. And that area doesn't even become accessible. It's weird. Yeah, like they really don't tell you a lot.
Be that the case, his words are well worth heeding, sir. With luck, he'll lead you to victory as...
I've gained a question.
I feel more familiar with his question.
No. If you're talking about the quest I think you're talking about, then there is nothing else that you can do. Is that the one where you have to go to that ruined castle? Yeah. They make it look like you can like talk to them, but there's no other way to resolve it. You have to kill them.
We need to get...
What is my quest anyway?
All these workers going about their business. How lively.
The city has amenities to suit every need. Armorer.
It's already been passed off.
Perhaps it's time we began our search for this magic book, Master.
There's a freight convoy not far from here. Come, join them.
Oh shit. Is there an attack? What are those? Goblins? Random goblin attack inside the castle. Oh, a griffin showed up. That's cool. That's the first time I fought one of these in this farm. Not sure if I'll be able to take it down. Yeah, it should be alright. don't know what its weakness is. Yeah, unfortunately there isn't. The best you can do with only like your pawn is to sit it down in the knowledge chair, which you can find at inns and a couple other places. And it's like you're telling them things that slowly change their AI patterns. So it's like they're asking you questions like, in this situation, what would you want me to do? And hopefully they'll ask you something where you can give them a useful answer that will actually make them good. Yeah, I think it affects your stamina consumption. I've been doing the same thing of like trying to stay low, so I don't remember if it affects your movement speed. I assume it does after a certain point. But I've been sticking to light or very light whenever I can. That griffin just ran away. It flew away. That was a pretty interesting random encounter though.
They're armed, Master.
Yeah.
Wait for an opening.
Raid? I think there is. It's hard to tell because they were talking about getting one together earlier. I don't know if that went through. Yeah, I think they kept looking around for like someone to fill in a spot, and they can never get a full team going. Raid tomorrow around 1 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be 8 hours from now. I've only done one raid this week, but it went really well, real smooth. Yeah, it was an hour and 7 minutes. I got some good stuff out of it. Yeah. Oh man, I tried to do the... Yeah. Prestige knife.
Do not just attack blindly.
Counter after they strike.
The boss is the biggest problem because there's no...
Exposed after a grand strike.
we didn't figure out a way to compensate for the lack of it. We just kept hoping that we would get some, but it never really happened.
After they strike, I can still fight. They're left exposed after a time.
They attack in quick succession. One cannot be too careful at the water's edge. We're like to find a bountiful harvest tucked in among all these nooks and crannies. Stray from the road and we'll soon find monsters arisen.
Are you asking if I did? Oh yeah, how was it? Not yet. I had hoped to see it by today, but hopefully by tomorrow I will. Who is the director? Hmm. Sakura was alright. Yeah, I like the rival. It was a good time. You know, it's been dry in movies for a while.
Facing foes across the
Oh yeah, I didn't care for the first one. It had its moments, but overall.
Fireworks well. Then watch your back. Keep quick to fire.
if you take... If you just go to like a weapons vendor, or I think even like a general vendor, most things you can upgrade, like you can do like a first stage upgrade for just money, and everything after that will require some type of material and more money. But in most cases it's worth it. Yeah, it's worth upgrading at least to the first step, because it's not a whole lot that you have to pay. You know, you get a tiny, well, depending on what you're upgrading, you can get like a tiny to a pretty decent bonus.
Endeavor to be ever calm in battle. Bide your time, then strike.
What is that? Whew.
Caution, Master. Massive beasts prowl this area. So to the bone.
Footing here is poor. Tread carefully.
Jesus. Oh, that's a Cyclops with the helmet on.
Armed rogues. They attack in quick succession.
Oh shit, what are these? What are those? And bandits. Okay. This will be interesting. Yeah, that's the best way to do with that quest. It's not easy to come by. If you really wanted to, you could get the shards to make the wake stone and then never give it to the guy. And just keep it.
It is enormous. Makes to throw. Stand ready. Launching throw steady.
I forgot to do that on this.
I shall strike the head.
Provide that beast kill. Switch to my staff.
That Cyclops is on. Double his life.
They might just appear at night, because there are some quests that do that. switch back to my daggers. Hop on this.
Keep attacking him! That Cyclops is armed! Yes, with lightning! No, attack! Its armor is ready! I cannot reach its armor!
Right off this pool. Switch back to my staff.
Let's have that helm off!
It's more the other way around, like, what you can equip is based on what location. So right now I'm a magic archer. I can use the same daggers that the other, like, ranger classes use, but I have to get a special magic bow instead of a regular bow. But I can use, like, the same stabs that mages use, so that's a nice bonus.
He's our chance! Take my lightning! Its armor is ready! A moment's distraction will be fatal! I'll steal its head!
Amazing.
That Cyclops is armed! I want to evade! Stop with lightning!
I guess it's kind of cool, but it's also very annoying that certain consumables can turn rotten after some time passes. You can turn some of them into different things, like you can turn rotted meat into back fat oil, and you can use that to make oil arrows.
Cannot breach its armor! Cyclops!
So it has some.
The helm protects its eye! Let's have that helm off! It's our chance!
Yeah, once you get down to like using a lot of skills in succession, stamina becomes more useful. It's a dead Cyclops. Alright.
What's this?
Some nice Cyclops meat.
This looks interesting. I don't care to meet whatever left these giant foot. It's behind. I'll take that. If victory is elusive, seek new allies. Where that fails, seek new foes. There's a far different climb from the capital.
Oh yeah.
There's novel fruit.
Yeah, some ridiculous armor sets that give you really good stats.
They're armed, Master. I'll take them. Counter after they strike.
They're left
There's
exposed
all sorts of
after a
crazy
grand
looking
strike.
dresses for female characters.
They attack in quick succession.
Tis a troubling foe.
Strength in numbers of his.
Alright, not bad.
Stay wary, Master. Visibility is poor ahead. A band of thieves make their den not far from here.
A chimera!
Hell yeah.
What face to feast.
I just came across the Chimera.
But sever the tail!
Well, let's go. These are always fun to fight.
I hold the sides! Cannot take much more!
I cannot obey right now.
I cannot move! One face to feast! Attack while I hold it! Practice feats of physical attacks! Attacks from every quarter! It would be far simpler with one less hero on my own! Watch its attacks! I have stated! Strike while it's distracted!
Alright, the snake part is dead.
It's fallen! Strike!
That was good, it fell down.
Magic! Leave the advantage! Keep attacking! Defeat! Now attack!
Tis confused from our attack!
that's the better idea. It's fucking baffling. They have like this stacked roster all the way to the moon, and this is the shit that they do with it. It's such a shame.
A band of thieves make their den not far from here.
Jinder Mahal is champion? Is that the world we're living in? Pretty much.
We're far from civilization yet.
Oh yeah, the great Royd comeback. Making Ryback blush. Jesus Christ.
I wonder what's inside.
'Twas monsters left these scars.
Ah, yeah. 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 Like, we both know it's bad, we can't keep laughing about it.
I'll take them.
You know what's gonna happen. I've been watching a lot more of it since Wrestle Kingdom in January. Oh man, that is some good stuff.
We have triumphed.
Pretty much top to bottom. That is a great G1.
Whoever did this may still be near.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great ones already. Like the Wrestle Kingdom stuff is obvious. And the New Japan Cup
His treacherous
was also pretty good. Have you watched those Kenny Omega
Hawkins,
Okada
a band
matches?
of woman thieves makes their den in these parts.
No. The third one was at the G1, yeah.
What a drop. Tis like the open space is about to reach out and take you. A cyclone's there!
I watched the first. Well, actually, I watched all three of them live, but the first two was just mind blowing.
That cyclone's armor.
It's falling! No! Attack! I cannot reach his armor is red! Attack that helm!
Yeah, it's a good barometer of like who's big right now.
I cannot reach its armor!
Naito has had some really good matches as well.
That Cyclops is on! No, attack! That's I cannot defeat his armor! His attack!
Where is it?
I cannot breach its armor!
Oh, it probably just carried over from the mage, and that's like all it can learn right now, are those two skills. Yeah, once you increase your vocation rank, that's when you have access to more of this stuff. Yeah, so stat growth is determined by your actual level, but vocation rank determines what you can buy.
This looks interesting.
It's another dead Cyclops. Pretty good run. Killing a few monsters.
What's there?
On my way over to this thief place.
Bandits arisen. We don't take targets for us bastards. The ranged ones are mine. We attack in quick succession. Still fight.
I am tempted to play as a sorcerer. They always have. This has really good magic. Always feels powerful. Casting these huge spells.
My consciousness.
Where is... That'll work. One thing I like to do when fighting on near cliffs like this is that I just pick up enemies and throw them off the side. A lot easier. Pretty fun. That's always good. You get this nice comical, like, big splat of blood when they hit.
You may have if you wore a woman's kit. Our search would go much easier if we were able to use this gate.
Let's see if I remember how to do this.
past the falling rocks as we walk the slopes, Master.
Yeah, this port came out on Tuesday.
What?
You'll soon
So
regret
it's
that.
pretty fresh.
After they strike. After a grand strike. I can still fight.
I know this.
I've learned of this.
After they strike.
Alright, level 23.
After they strike. Please help me.
Things are looking up.
You'll soon regret that.
Counter after they strike. Did it. Strength. The numbers have risen.
Would be wise to not arouse the ire of the local bandits. Not that way. This fort was built by a group of old. I reckon it's worth investigating.
A lot of Berserk references in this game.
Seems there's more than one way to deal with bandits. Not that way.
That new one is pretty bad. I still like the first show. From like the early 2000s. It was pretty good.
Down below, Arisen. Treasure, perhaps?
Let's have a look. An ancient fort, to be sure.
Where that should be done here. That should be it. How far away am I from Grand Soren? And that's enough for a fairy stone. As soon as I finish ransacking.
Oh, I'll enjoy this.
Well before striking. Tis a port crystal, Master.
What meaning do you suppose those stones hold?
What's that?
Picked up another fairy stone.
So this is the pond gate. So,
Yeah, the Abbey ones are worth it.
These are bandits, Master. No doubt
The main quest turns into like do a set of things
we don't. We're in awe.
that you
They're
can
like all the
pick like the order of. So it doesn't become too like urgent.
Take all the do come again.
we can take on curatives and other supplies for our journey here.
Me, the master works all.
Yeah.
The master work come again.
Oh yeah, for the other end.
I'd imagine one would never tire of this place. Are your travel preparations complete?
I seem to have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today?
Plunges one blade into the ground, forms a magic sigil that traps enemies. That's all the same. I am tempted to switch to sorcerer.
Have your pick.
Raise up my
Any you like.
magic offense.
Come again soon.
Yeah, after I have some sleep. It's very late. I should not be awake. Yeah, I will. I'll see you. That's the end of the stream, by the way. So it's actually pretty convenient timing on that guy's part. Oh man, this is a great game. I can't wait to go back to it. Save and return to title screen.